So sit up straight on your chair. And you know how I like to do our necks? Loosen it up, starting with the left, going front to the right, behind, and back to the left shoulder. And then rotating in the reverse direction to the back, coming back around to the front, and ending at the left shoulder. Let's rotate your shoulders forward. You're not just raising your shoulders up and down, you're actually rotating your rotator cuffs. And then backwards.
Don't I know it?
Yeah, feels good. And then Hillary taught us something yesterday in Tai Chi, and it's to loosen up your wrists. So let me see if I can remember. So have your wrists together, open them up, and then rotate them and close again. Do that one more time. Open, back, rotate, and come back. Now you should be able to do it the other way, where instead of starting this way, you start that way and do the same thing. And that loosens up your wrists. And since sometimes we grip our pens a little too hard, just lightly wiggle your fingers. Okay, now we're going to take our deep breaths. I'm going to let you take your 2 or 3 breaths on your own. And before you complete it, think of something that you're grateful for. Okay, now we're ready to get started. And Janet just signed in. Thank you, Peggy, for whatever you did there.
I get no credit. She figured it out her very self.
Well, my husband is using my old iPad because he couldn't get in on his computer. And so we're both on the same, I think that's what's going on. But anyway, I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. All righty. So, for me, this is going to be fun today because Peggy taught us the Wayward Six. I'm going to share my screen, but before, no, I will just share the screen and tell you what we're doing today and then get right into it. So I've got colored pencils, but you do not need to work in color. You can do shading instead. I just happen to work in color today. And the reason being is, do you remember the Wayward Six, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was so fun.
Okay, now I do.
And that's Wayward Six.
Oh, neat.
Oh, I love that.
And that's why I worked in color. Now, this is particularly, so I don't know if you can tell that's a butterfly.
Yes.
Head and
Of course we can.
So my mother loved butterflies. Nordstrom's in the mall had by their escalators a 3-story butterfly exhibit that hung for 3 stories, all butterflies. And she was always giddy about going to the mall just to see that. So her birthday's coming up. So this is an homage to my mother and her butterflies. Obviously, when you work with Zentangle, the Zentangles are represented.
Put on a necklace. I used to waste so much time, and sometimes
Okay, tangle represented, not necessarily exact. And we take a lot of license. And the question came up a couple of weeks ago. How do people feel about Zentangle inspired art? Is it getting too far away from tangling, etc.? And, there's so many answers to that. And for me, it's partly, I love the traditional fill in every space and with different tangos within a string. That's how we started. That's still my first love, black and white. As long as there's shading, because that's when it came alive to me. That's what drew me to Zentangle, in addition to the meditative form. But since then, I've been trying to expand and play. And so the ZIA is my way of playing. All right, so how are we going to do this? You have all right, so I'm going to go through the step out for the wayward 6, all right? And then I'm going to help start the tile. I'm going to do this one again, but I'm doing it in real time with you guys. You have options. You can do exactly what I'm doing. I only added, what's that? I added henna drum. Remember I was sharing with you my process on the back of my tile? So I use henna drum in the corners. It's not a true henna drum, but pretty close. You can put any tango there. And the main tango is Wayward 6. It's by Yoru Chen. She's a CZT. And the inspiration came from another tangler. Her name is Sharon XWW. And then for me, I always like to have the names. So PC is Prismacolor. I like to know what medium I'm using and the colors that I use, because at some point in the future, if I want to try something again, then I have an easy reference and I don't have to go through the thought process all over again. Okay, so you can either follow me or you can create a garden, a Zentangle garden, and you can do little Wayward 6 butterflies living around in your garden. You can do any composition you want. Okay, so get out your tile that you're going to work or your scratch, and I'm going to first do the step out, and then we're actually going to create the tile. You guys okay with that?
Mhm.
Using a micro pen. And Peggy, please, since you're the one that taught us this, help keep me straight.
You'll be fine. I have total confidence in you.
So it starts off with a 6. And that's why it's called Wayward 6. To which you have a tethered aura. And you end right there. But then you continue from the original 6. And you bring this out and tether that aura. Now you can fill in with, I'm not even sure what you call these. I'm trying not, you know what, I have to rotate my tile. Why am I fooling myself?
Rotating tiles is what we all do
I
or
know,
should
that's
do.
why it's like, why am I trying not to? And then you do the same on the other side. and then there were some variations. You could do something on the ends. You could also add more things. So if you took this as a flower, for example, you could then add leaves. And if you wanted it to be more realistic, I suppose you could actually change the shape then, so that you could differentiate between the flower and the leaves. And that's it, guys. It's that simple. That's the tangle we're going to work with. And the reason why I chose it is because it gives us a lot of real estate to shade and or to color. If I'm looking at at all of you, when you're ready to proceed, just everyone look up. And in Joanne's case, she turned away.
Well, I need to get a tile.
I was being
I'm
funny.
at a different angle because I forgot to charge my iPad last night.
Actually, this is a good time to get your supply.
To get colored pencils.
When working with colored pencils, it's really important to have sharp tips. So I always keep my hand sharpener.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay, let's get started. So there are 8 steps to Zentangle. After gratitude, what's the next step? Put your dots in the corner,
Mhm.
and mine are extra dark because I want you to be able to see. Normally, I just draw kind of wavy lines for my borders, but I had this vision in mind. So, but first, okay, from your dots, do your border.
Do you have it on the back deliberately?
Yeah, so that I didn't waste another tile.
Don't blame you.
So I'm just using a square. Forget that it's the back.
Yeah.
I'm being economical. And then I took the midpoint and put just a little light mark on the inside on each of the centers of the borders so that I could create a half moon. It's not real important to have a perfect half moon right now, because we never do, regardless. And again, turn your tiles. What we're doing here is creating another string. And you know what a string is. It's the space in which you put another tangle. Actually, I should wait for Susan to see this. Are you ready?
Mm.
All right, Susan.
That me? Okay. Susan S or Susan M? No. All right.
And
Week.
Okay.
these are really light because since I chose, and that's just a Haunani thing, I like to go outside the borders. And so I needed to know where the string was going to be in order for me to place my wayward six or my butterfly. So that was the purpose of lightly putting in these those half moons to define my borders.
Okay.
But when you look at this, it's nothing more than a string, right? We just happen to be creating a string with the wayward six beginning. So this does not have to be center line. In fact, mine is not quite center. It's a little bit below center. And my wing is about a third down, but it doesn't matter. About a third and a third on this side. It just happened to be how I did it. It can be any way you want. And for those of you that are doing smaller wayward six butterflies on a Zentangle tile, just go for it. You do not have to follow what I'm doing. Okay, so create your wayward six. So that's the first stroke. And then the second one will be the tethered aura. And then I'm going to carry on from this line to here and come out. And then bring out the tethered aura. And when you're ready, you can make your second wing however you want, coming from the center and going out. So mine happens to be about halfway through this half circle. Yours can be in it can be out, it can be however you want it. And then on the second one, I took it to the into the break of my string. Now, every decision you make gives you a challenge because now you're having to do the behind the hollabah, the behind and in front considerations.
Okay, and these wings are on the opposite side that they would normally be on a wayward six.
This is where the leaf portion is.
Yeah, okay.
And as a guide for me, I just put in
And
this,
it's tethered.
this faint line just to help me keep that part straight. Now, I should have thought of this sooner. I'm gonna,
Oops, where to go?
Yeah.
I am sorry about that. I don't know how to mute that part. I'm gonna leave this.
Is that my dog that you're hearing?
No, it's my phone. And I don't,
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna leave this up for you guys while I get caught up to you guys. So all I did then was do these. All right, but I didn't do them all like here on this one. I kind of did a twofer. But then when I got down inside of it, I made it one. I was just trying to vary that, that's all. But you can just do a bunch of these that you will eventually connect. Or you could even connect them with an aura. Like some butterflies have a black kind of edge.
Yeah.
And you could put dots in them. And then eventually with the colors, I just did that. And then later on, I put some highlights on them. So I'm going to let you continue. And then when I get caught up to where you guys are at, I'm starting another tile. I'm assuming that would be helpful for you, or do you just want me to, how would you like me to proceed with you guys?
Where's the one you were just working on?
Yeah, because I need to see it.
You mean this
No,
one?
no, the one where you were drawing the
On the back, where you were working on the back.
and then the back was the grid and yes, that.
You want the string. Got it.
Well, yeah, I guess that's, okay, I get it.
That's the string.
Okay.
And
This needs to curl.
And then you just did that curvy, okay.
well, then you put in these guys over here. Would it be easier if I worked on this?
Sure.
Oh, okie dokie. The coloring won't come out, but okay, sure. Okay, let me get my pen.
Or not. I mean, it's okay, whatever, but
No,
this
so
one's good.
This will help you guys get started. And while you're doing your thing, I can start my tile.
Yeah, yeah.
So I took this one. I gotta do this. And I just started from here. I knew I was going to curl this around like that. So I wanted my first one to start and then I wasn't sure yet. So I did another one of those. I kept them coming back to this point.
So you're not gonna do the shorter ones above that. On the other tile, you have the 2 layers.
I actually, they come from the coloring.
Okay.
So this, Gwen,
Mm-hmm.
this is one
1, okay,
piece.
got it.
And it's when I started doing the coloring, I then had another layer.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I
Oh.
started mine lower because I thought I had to do another layer on top.
Sorry, that was not clear.
It's okay. I can fix it.
No, that'll work too. There's no reason why you can't do both. I mean,
Right.
it works both ways. You're good.
It does. I just, I was starting this. I wanted a butterfly. I know I have to start to bring it in because it can't all be this tall. Before I finish that one, I want to start this too. Now, when it comes around here, you can have them touching the circle. I chose not to, no particular reason. I just didn't. But this is the beauty of what your tangle. This space here and here, you can add another tangle. You could do fescues or poke root or something coming out. You won't do it right now because you want to see how your composition comes out before you start filling in. Did that help, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the second wing is really easy. I just did that. But I knew I was going to count on shading to help give me more dimension to separate it from the top. And then I'll show you when you're ready. I'm going to show you how to do the body of the butterfly. And then you're on your own.
Okay.
You have almost an hour, guys, to tangle and color and shade. Okay, if you guys can look up. So the head comes right in here. It can go higher, it can go lower, it's your choice. And then it has a little bit of an abdomen. And then I just put some closely put like a zinger kind of.
Yeah.
And then from the head, I just did that and that. And there's your butterfly.
Oh, yay.
Now, you do not have to do
Too big.
all of this as I did. I chose that because I kind of liked how it framed it, but you might like it without these because you have other visions of what you want to do in those corners. But I needed it so that I knew what was over and under when it came to putting the corners in. So I'm going to leave that up. Is everyone comfortable starting or continuing on your own?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Cool beans.
Can you push the finished one up alongside the one you're working on, just so we can see both? Thank you.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yes,
That-
beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you guys see and what I see are different. That's why I'm having to check. But Peggy would keep me straight too. So I'm going to create my own. Maybe this time I'll do it without the corners and see what but I'll still put in my corners. If you're choosing to use color, layer, layer, layer. Go back in, layer again. I used on the finished product both the colorless pencil in addition to the white pencil. And then I used the white gel pen. It makes a difference because now I'm semi-burnishing. And once you lose the tooth of the paper, you can't do much more.
Hmm.
Should I actually do the ones with the corners too? Because I made you guys do that string. Or probably,
Matter.
okay, I'll do that.
I'm having a little trouble with the one on your left. The wings kind of go out far, which mine do, but you have kind of double wings here.
The wings come from this leg or this arm, if you will,
Right,
from this direction versus this other direction. And I just chose this bottom one to be bigger. But
But
you
see
could have stopped it.
see the two layers right here? You have this purplish layer.
Yeah, it's not two sets of wings. She did those on the color one with the colored pencil.
So this was your first wayward, the wayward six.
Yeah, I got that. It's the wings over here that I'm talking about. You got purple over here and then you have blue here and it looks like a double set. of
Oh,
wings.
here,
Yeah,
on the finished one.
Right,
Oh,
it looks like two sets of wings and it's not, it's the same wing, it's just
Oh.
colored.
What happened to do that is I started layering and I was trying to pick what I was going to layer with. So then I started doing something else. And then I did something else even further. It's not taking well on this, this paper that I'm using doesn't have as much tooth to it.
yeah, I see what Peggy is saying and then yeah,
So it started to create,
right, okay.
it was that
Mm-hmm.
problem with a linear brain is it's intuitively obvious to me, but just because the process starts to take on some dimension for me, then I just keep going. I didn't know it was going to end up being this way. I just played with it.
Right,
So that's the part that was missing, right?
But then you have some black lines in there,
yeah,
additional.
What I did then afterwards is I went back in the pen and then with the darker colors and which one should I use? I'm going to use red just because it's not so obvious. I did that. For the outside, and I did that with the blue.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that. And then on the inside, I thought, oh, I could do that too. So then I picked another color. Back it up. Back it up. Let me see, did I actually did do the pen. Guys,
Mm-hmm.
I used the pen. So once it became clear what I could do on the exterior one, I not only did the shading, but I also added the pen.
oh, yeah, right. That's what I was referring to, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Okay. So both of them side by side. Oops. But stop at any point to ask questions. You're on your own, and hopefully by your questions, I've clarified most of what you didn't know. Is anyone doing freeform other than this design?
I've kind of lost your,
Fine.
well, I have the butterfly, but I'm working on a smaller tile, so.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
following
so
you.
am I.
Yeah, so whatever you end up with is absolutely perfect.
And
I know that.
that always happens with Zentangle.
I don't know.
I love the way that all of us always come out with something different.
Different,
Like
Yes.
it's
absolutely.
given the same instruction. And that's what I tell everybody about it.
Isn't there a movie, Poor Butterfly or something like that? Mine's gonna be Poor Butterfly.
There's a sci-fi one called The Butterfly Effect.
Uh-huh. Let me see if I do this right.
The yellow.
Butterflies have a lot of different meanings to different people. I have a friend that believes when the butterfly comes when she's sitting outside, that it's her brother's spirit.
Yep.
Okay.
If that's what speaks to her, then it very well may be.
Mhm.
There's lots of stuff we don't know.
I was surprised at how quickly the coloring went. I thought it would take me an hour and it was maybe half an hour. But I did select the colors. Once I knew I was going to color, I selected the colors and just laid them out. And the initial coloring was done in less than a half hour.
Good.
It's the layering that takes more time, where you walk away and then you come back and then you think, oh, this needs to be a little darker, more in the shade or something, just, or I want more intensity here. It's no different than shading. Let's
Gosh.
see.
Thank you. There's probably another one coming. I think this is good. Oh. Oh, wow. No. Okay, doke. Oh, here. Okay, doke. better, better.
Once you lay down your Wayward Six, you can erase your pencil lines behind it so that they're not part of your shading and or coloring. But do it lightly because you don't want to burnish your paper. And I ended up coloring the butterfly before I decided what I was going to do with the corners because I chose the henna drum because I wanted to carry the yellow, orange, red color. I wanted to take it outside. So that's why I chose that particular tangle.
And you started your coloring from the tip of the wing moving in.
I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So yes, I started
On the tip.
and you see how lightly I'm doing it. I'm not making sure all the paper is covered because I know I'm going to come back in and layer.
Okay.
And I may end up coming with a different pattern on this tile. Wanted some softness. That's why I normally don't do light pastel-y type colors. I like more darker, vibrant. Now, the original one, I had smaller, I don't know what to call these, section. And on this new tile, I've got larger sections. So that's my first layer of coloring. And then I'll go back and create more definition. By the way, I'm deliberately trying to make my underwings a different value than the others so that you can tell it's different. Now, when you go to highlight, like I did with the gel pen, you can differentiate it even more. Even though you have another half hour, I don't expect you to finish this in that time. I just want you to have the luxury of having the leisure to shade and or color. And then you're going to leave it, and later on this afternoon you'll come back to it. You'll keep coming back to it and seeing things that you didn't see before. But at some time you got to pull the trigger and call it done.
Hmm.
You find out.
Yeah. No. No. That would have been better there.
I don't have to worry about the room because I can move into the room. I'll let you can read their report. I love you guys. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, right. We done. Whoever do we want?
I'm trying something different than drawing a separate line here. I'm using color to give it some change.
Mhm.
And then I'm probably going to put white gel dots on the wings, I think. It's a process. And I'm also just coloring this half so you can see the process of layering. So this is what I originally started with, and I keep going back over to accentuate or, you know. Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you. I like your idea this time. With the color.
This time.
With the color, changing the wing that way. I like it.
You know, art is a personal thing. It moves you,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you gotta just go with it. Could you all look up for a moment?
Mhm.
Now, what I'm seeing on the screen is not as deep as what I'm seeing on my paper, but I'm going to show you the difference between a colorless pencil and a white. So I'm not going to burnish it too much because I don't want to take away my ability to continue to add, but watch how this changes. This is colorless.
Oh. It makes it one, sort of.
Mhm.
Makes it one, and it makes it actually more intense. You can't necessarily see it on the computer,
Hmm.
so that's the color.
Anani, what kind of pencil is that?
It's literally called colorless.
Okay.
It's a
I'm not on.
You can
If
put
they have that
certain
shape.
things separately, even a color pencil. Like I seem to be using a lot of blue, so I'm probably going to have to get a blue one or a particular blue one. But this is colorless. And then
Colorless.
if you were to use the white, now white is a color. Well, not really, but you know what I'm saying. So it's not colorless. So you can
Right.
soften, if you will.
Do you buy that at any art supply store?
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, before when we would color, I would just color. I would just kind of like scratch on a little bit of color and call it a day. But now I know that if you keep layering and layering, you get more realistic colors. Plus, to me, it's Zen. I just get lost in the process.
Yes, yeah.
But the Carpothellos, I don't find I can layer as well, but I love the process of getting the color on and it's done. You don't have to do a gemstone like I did. I just always try to find opportunities for that. I tried to do it on the butterfly head, but it didn't really work. And you'll note here, this is where I'm trying to reframe, but I can't reframe. This is where I screwed up and the body just became one color and it was too dark. So I ended up having to use the gel pen to kind of separate the body. Otherwise you wouldn't know it was a body. And now I'm connecting the wings because the wings really aren't separate. And I'm just drawing the essence of a web. But if you look at butterflies, they also have markings where typically black markings throughout.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, the colorless pencil is like a tortillon.
Yeah.
Although you can't draw out the color.
Hey, Hanani, do you want to show?
Ooh, tiny. Yes. Absolutely. Thank you. So before I undo my screen, I just want to show you what I just did with the colorless and how I ended up adding a little bit more, even though I'm in the burnishing process, I added just a little bit more orange, but you can't tell on the screen like I can tell on mine. All right, let me stop. So you guys see how different the beginning, you just start to lay, and then you start, and then you can burnish or not, your choice. Okay, stop. All right. Let me do that. Okay. Now I have to spotlight people. So I'm going to go in order of my screen, which puts Susan Schessler. I'm going to spotlight you. Okay.
Oh, pretty.
It's more like a bird.
That's all right.
It can be a bird.
They both start with B and they both fly. So there you go.
I'm not learning to blend as nicely as you do, Hanani.
No, it's layer upon layer. It's not just laying next to each other. It's overlaying
Yeah,
and then overlaying more. And you wouldn't think you should put a yellow on a blue because that's a green, right?
right.
But it draws it out. It helps to blend better, and it doesn't become green unless you really put a lot of color. So just experiment. That's all I've been doing. Gwen, you're up next.
Okay.
That's lovely.
Oh,
That's
Lovely,
lovely.
Gwen.
love the colors.
It's kind of crooked though. It's bigger on this side than this side.
Doesn't matter.
It really doesn't
No.
matter.
Nice.
I really enjoy working the color, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Susan McHaleson.
Oh,
Very
very
nice,
nice.
Susan.
beautiful.
Nice color palette.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Very nice.
Mimi.
Yeah. Mhm.
I wanted to stay black and white. And I really had to push to go to color.
Looks good.
Mimi.
Very good.
I stayed with black and white, but I copy this on the computer and then I put color with it.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my goodness.
That's
Oh,
really
nice.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that is.
Amazing.
I'll try
That's really
color. I
neat.
want to copy it first
Oh my God.
because
Amazing.
I'm not that good with color yet.
You work so quickly.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Marie, are you sharing this morning?
Not today.
Okie doke. Marie Veronica.
Sure. Nature would never do this.
Oh,
Really
I
pretty.
love
but
that.
that's
Very
nice.
fabulous.
That's very pretty.
Yes.
Right.
Love
I
it.
think
That's
nature's
great.
smart to never choose these colors together,
Oh,
but
that's neat. I like
Oh,
that.
that's beautiful.
Hmm.
Okay, let's see, who have we got? Margaret.
This,
Oh, yeah.
this is for sympathy card or
Oh,
for
Oh,
Future
really
Festivals.
pretty.
very pretty.
nice.
Very
Very
nice.
Love the
Very
variation.
nice.
Linda McMeekin, you are up next.
Linda.
Okay, I was a rebel.
Well,
Oh, I
like
love
that.
that.
Like that.
Nice.
Like it.
The background is a pattern that I found through an email I got from Zentangle. And the butterfly, the 6 reminded me so much of it. I put that in the background.
Yay.
That's great.
Very good. I like
So
that.
I'll work on
Like
color.
it.
Okay, Joanne Meyer.
Oh,
Man.
not too far along.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness,
wow.
Joanne.
beautiful color.
Yeah.
Color's
Yeah.
great.
Gotta work on the color, but yeah,
Really
it's a
pretty.
start.
You know, we all need to. That's the whole point. I used to just scratch color on and call it a day.
Yeah.
Unless you do it. Mike Jones, thank you.
Okay. I hope you're ready for this. This is a moth rather than a butterfly.
Oh,
Oh,
Wow,
my
that
goodness,
is
Mike.
Okay.
That's
That's
awesome.
Nice.
Lots of color anyway.
I love
It was fun. It was fun.
Wow.
Good. Fun is,
Thank you.
fun is good. I love that, Mike.
Thanks.
Linda Conley.
I'm not finished, but
Oh,
Oh, very
nice.
nice.
Ooh,
beautiful color.
that is beautiful though.
Yes.
The
very
colors are
well
so
done.
soft.
Yes.
well, I need to I think I need to add more color, but I
Layer
just,
on top.
That's nice.
right.
But it's a beautiful palette.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And more.
Well, I went for a butterfly, but I think I ended up with a bug on a flower.
It's really well done.
Looks good though.
Tip it upside
I like
down.
it.
And it's
Then
got
it's
Yeah,
butterfly.
depending on.
There he is.
has legs. I love it.
Good. That's
I
very
don't
good.
know.
Did you have fun?
Yes,
I like it.
yes, definitely fun.
Hmm.
Janet Pickford.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, pretty.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
nice. Very nice color. Very nice.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
I
and
like
then
all the different colors people selected.
Yeah.
Linda Conley, did I get you already?
Yes, uh-huh.
It's our beloved Peggy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I can't
Okay,
carry
Peggy.
colored pencils to Delaware, so I had to deal
Oh
with
my
all
gosh.
these
Oh,
beautiful
love
Really, oh my
pencils.
gosh.
Love it.
Really nice.
Gorgeous, Peggy. Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Well, it's
Love it.
backwards to me, so I'm not sure what you're seeing, but wait,
No, that's
maybe like this. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I
No,
like
it's upside
Always
down.
upside down.
There he is.
Yeah.
There he is. Yeah.
Beautiful, Peggy.
Wow,
Wow.
that's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have no color. It's kind of interesting to have to play with black and white like that. It was fun.
Is there anyone that I missed? We're all good?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Hanani.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Hannah.
Connie.
Yes,
Thank
fun.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Donnie.
Yes.
Welcome. I had
See you in
fun.
a few weeks.
2 weeks, yes. Next
2 weeks,
week
yeah.
we're
Oh,
not
2
meeting
weeks.
because it's
Okay.
4th of July.
Oh, all
Okay.
right.
So 2 weeks.
2
Okay.
weeks. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And I'll have the
yeah.
registration form up because
Oh,
the
right.
11th is the first week of the next session.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll put
Okay.
it up the beginning of next week.
Okay.
Very
Okay.
See ya.
Thank
Good.
you.
Bye-bye.
Nice
Bye-bye.
working, Peggy.
Good luck, Peggy.
Thanks.
Yes,
Yeah,
I hope
hope all
everything goes
works.
well, Peggy.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
My
Okay.
video.